So, I've left my job. I've left safety. Was that a naive choice? Perhaps. Am I still unsure of what I'm going to do? Yes, very much so. And now it's raining.
Nah, don't try it. You can't feed me lies, won't buy it.
Oh, hey. Hi, I'm Lisa, and I have left my job to pursue goals of mine, dreams of mine that I've had in the back of my mind and haven't yet had the chance to really fully pursue. So I've ripped the cord, left the job, and we'll be walking you through how I'm going to go about the next 6 months. So I'm setting up systems for the next 6 months in order to try to achieve these goals, achieve at least getting closer to what I think my dream life is, what I want it to look like. I've never really documented myself doing something very deliberately. I've only documented things here and there, and I really want to make this a full-on documentation of the next 6 months. So let's go.
Nah, don't try it. You can't feed me lies, won't buy it.
I feel like it's gonna rain any second, and that's horrifying, but hey, we don't know what's gonna happen, and well, that's life. So I'm starting with my blueprint for life, what I think my life could look like. Thing is, I'm not gonna put too much pressure on what my income stream is gonna be. I'm only gonna focus on building these skills and pursuing the betterment of myself through these skills. And I have this faith that I will figure out along the way what that income stream could look like, but I'm not going to force it just yet. I'm going to take a few months, calling it 6 months, to really kind of explore and paint myself across these different experiences and these different skills, and probably do a reassessment in 3 months and see how I feel. Again, not pressuring it too much. I worry about that being something that brings me back to where I was, which was in the stable, safe job in tech, making good money, and feeling unfulfilled. Trying to grasp for my goals on the side and just failing, just not having the energy and not having maybe the personal ability to do both at once. So here I am.
Moving like some waste man, trying to impress me, won't like it.
Oh, hi. You might be thinking to yourself, is she going to present to us a presentation on her 6-month plan? And the answer is yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I have planned out my 6-month plan in Figma, and I love the visualization. I'm starting in June right now. We're in the first week of June 2025, and the plan is to finish this at the end of December 2025. And I've broken my plan into 3 parts. The 3 main pillars that I'm going to be focusing on, which are dance, YouTube, and design. Dance, my main goal is to just improve as a dancer and choreographer, keep putting time into making myself the strongest version of that I can be. And I'd love to put on a performance and create concept videos, so create art, ideas, visualizations of my dance, of my ideas, put them out there. YouTube is the second one, which, as I'm already starting to do here, is document my life and my process of basically uprooting my entire career and how I go about my life. And if, as a side effect, I can grow my YouTube channel, that would be so cool. I'm not attached to growing the YouTube channel, but it is something that really excites me and I would love to see happen. So I'm going to be putting a lot of work into creating this YouTube channel. And the third pillar is design. So I'd love to start a design business, and I have a specific idea that I'd like to try, and giving myself flexibility to try it out and see if I like it, see how I feel about it, and allow myself to pivot if necessary. But I've always dreamt of starting a business, and I have a lot of experience in design, physical and digital, so I'd love to put all those skills together and see what I can make. This is all kind of an experiment. I'm seeing this as a way to be a guinea pig and just test things out and see how they feel. Dance, I'm breaking each pillar into components. So actionable items that are going to be happening weekly, more or less, that will allow me to get to my goal. So these are going to be things that are keeping me accountable, keeping me working weekly so that I can achieve my end goals. For example, for dance here, you can see I'm going to be training in the different styles that I'm already training in, but additionally, strength training, cardio training, doing dance-specific mobility training. So all these things that are even outside of dance that are supporting myself as a dancer, as well as training my freestyle. So ever expanding my creative scope, and on top of that, creating more art. So creating more dance concept videos and putting my ideas out there, kind of taking them out of the brain and onto a video, onto a stage, etc. Now the next one, YouTube. Like I mentioned, I'd like to grow this channel, but most importantly, I'd like to just document what I'm doing. So I'm planning a weekly publishing cadence, so I want to create a video every week. It can be aggressive, and I'll reassess if I feel like I'm burning out, but the idea is that I don't want to sit on a video for too long and overthink it and try to perfect it. I have done that in the past. It does not work because I end up just not publishing, or I end up sitting on something for months. I love this idea of giving myself deadlines so that no matter what, I just have to put something out there. It breeds an interesting kind of creativity. I learn a lot about myself in this aggressive kind of deadline timeline. So that's the goal. And of course, in order to be a better storyteller, I'd like to build my skills as a cinematographer, understand how to use my camera better, study editing, and have a plan for how I want to set up the next few months in terms of like, what do I want to shoot? What's my vision? These sorts of things. So I'm excited about the YouTube part. And finally, the design part. The business that I'd like to try to make is a jewelry business. Between you and me, I have no idea what I'm doing, and that's what's exciting to me. I have a lot of ideas, and I'd like to see if I can make something happen. I think it's an aggressive timeline to actually make this happen, but I think even just having the goal and trying to reach it is very exciting to me, even if I don't really start something. But the goal is to start some kind of design business. The test will be jewelry, but I'm giving myself the flexibility to pivot if I feel like that's just not sitting well. It's just like not the thing right now. Maybe I need to try something different. So I have an idea, and I'm going to test it and see how it goes. Giving myself grace there. And I'm going to move you here to keep you on your toes. The last thing I want to mention is that it's not just about those main three pillars, that life is multidimensional and we just can't forget about the other parts of life, like relationships, community, finances. I want to make sure I'm still focusing on these things, and I want to make sure I'm still focusing on these things and highlighting them when needed, and not forgetting that life is about relationships. Life is about the people in our lives as well. Another thing that is really important to me, as you can see here, is travel. Travel is something that is more accessible to me right now, and I feel that I'm going to not be able to do as much later in life, pretty soon actually. So I'm trying to do as much of traveling as possible and really prioritizing that while still trying to maintain my main pillars and thinking about like, well, how am I going to still publish videos every week, things like that. I think it's still doable, but I want to also give myself grace. Like if I have to skip a week because I have this incredible travel planned, that's okay. Just not doing too much skipping. And essentially that is it. I want to do a check-in in 3 months and see how I feel. How do these goals feel? Are they progressing? Do I have to pivot anything? Do I have to change anything? And that's sort of the summary.
Yeah, you know I'm back like black tracksuit with a black top cap.
At the end of the day, I don't know how this is all going to end up, but what I know is that I would really regret not trying to do something and not trying to build this life. I have this opportunity of time right now. I have an opportunity of resources and mental space to figure this out. And I'm not attached to the outcome. What I'm more so caring about is that I have tried.
Nah, don't try it. You can't feed me lies, one bite.
You can wait forever and try to produce a perfect thing, but at the end of the day, I realize anything that I produce never feels perfect, so why am I gonna wait a month? Maybe I can do it in a week and make more things and learn more from that than trying to perfect something. As people at my job would often say, don't let perfection be the enemy of great or good. Don't let it stop you, this desire for perfection, don't let it stop you from producing really interesting things. They may not be perfect, but the fact that you're producing, the fact that you're creating is inevitably meaning that you're making new things, coming up with new ideas, learning from that. I actually saw a YouTube video with a really great premise about it. When you're making a video, you're making it 3 times. So you're ideating, that's kind of the first one, you're scripting, and then you're filming, and then you're editing. And in each moment, in each part of the journey, you are basically doing it over again. So your first iteration is the script, but when you start filming, it kind of changes, right? It evolves to be a new thing because now you're putting the script into real life. And then when you're editing, it becomes a different thing because now you're seeing how you can actually manipulate the things that you've filmed, and maybe you have to go back and film some more because you had a new idea from the editing. I've already run into that making only a few videos, that so many new ideas come from just trying. And it's a lesson I have to keep relearning over and over again because I've seen it in my design career over and over again. And it's a really important lesson that putting something out there and doing something is really what's going to trigger more creative ideas. So if you're feeling stuck, you just have to do something. And that will immediately help you feel unstuck.
Be a moving like some waste man. Trying to impress me, won't like it. Be a soft man, please don't try it. Really, why do they always